My first job today is to illustrate, to introduce the food that you have just in your dishes here. Since you can see this tender meat covered by these thin slices of truffle, and this truffle is a summer black truffle. So the first message that I would like to give you is that we can enjoy truffles in all the seasons, and not since sometimes we are just thinking of a truffle and the food which is really strictly related to the autumn, to the moment in which the days are short and gray and the fog is covering all the hills. By contrast, as you can see, we can really enjoy truffles during the autumn, as in this case, when we eat the white truffle, the famous, the most precious truffle that we have, the tartufo d'alba. But we can enjoy the black truffle, which is a typical winter truffle which is developing in France, in Italy, and in Spain. But also the summer truffle, as you can observe in your dishes. But at this point, maybe we can just wondering what is really a truffle, what are these thin slices that you are eating. So this truffle is a fungus, and so it belongs to a kingdom which is well separated from plant or animal kingdoms. It is really a sort of fungus, exactly as I am showing just in this small plate. So it is growing with a sort of hyphae which are present in the soil in this form, and this is the form in which we are used to study truffles in the lab. But this fungus has some special features, since as many other truffles, it develops mostly thanks to its capacity to establish symbiosis with some plants. And so he is capable of attaching to the roots of some special hosts and to develop this structure which are called mycorrhizas. But only when these mycorrhizas are produced, you can expect to find what we call truffles, and this is really the fluid of the fungus. But as you can understand, this life cycle is really very, very complex, and there are so many mysteries surrounding this type of organism. So a really very important jump in our knowledge when we decided, together with a colleague coming from France, Francis Martin, to launch a project devoted to sequencing the genome of these black truffles, and the project was launched 3 years ago here in Torino, and in 3-4 years we were successful in sequencing all this huge genome, in understanding what these genes are doing, and just to publish the paper, which was just recently published in Nature just past April. So at the moment, what we would like to understand that what you are just eating now. And in fact, one of the interesting questions is that when we eat a usual meal with a large quantity of DNA, some colleagues in this Iowa State University have calculated when in a normal meal we eat more or less 150,000 kilometers of DNA. So our question is, but when you are eating with the few slices of truffles, what really you are eating? Thinking of the fact that, if I can have my last slide, that this genome of a truffle is a very, very huge genome. It contains 125,000 millions of days nucleotides, but irrespectively of that, the number of genes which are really active is very, very you more or less 7,000. So, what do we have learned from this truffle genome? We have surely understood some important things. For example, we have understood that this fungus can associate with its host plants due to the fact that it cannot stimulate the defects of the plant. But the plant does not perceive the fungus as an enemy, but as a friend. And so this is really written in the DNA of the truffle. And the other important thing is that we have understood that in this huge genome, there are many gene coding for some of these special shells or these special volatiles, and this is mostly related to the fact that the truffle has a lot of sulfur metabolites, which are quite important for that. And the other important thing is that, for example, we have discovered that in this truffle genome there are some genes which allow the fungus to perceive the light. And perhaps this could be really very interesting on the fact that this fruit body is usually produced under the soil. So, we can really say that we have learned a lot, but there are still many, very, very difficult things, since really it's not so easy to understand the moment in which really the truffle is produced. Even if we have already understood that the production of the truffle is also the result of some sexual events that before this big genome sequencing project we really did not know. So at this point, I would like to say that if you are interested, I can add some other things, but I would like to leave you with a comment that for me is quite interesting to say that there is a sort of link between science and truffle. Maybe you know that a Nobel Prize, Rita Levi-Montalcini, originated exactly from Torino, and in many of the books that she wrote writing about her life, she was used to say, today I have found the biggest truffle of the season. And she used this metaphor for indicating that she did a great discovery. So, buon appetito!
Thank you very much, Paola. I understood that it's impossible to cultivate truffles artificially, like for us. Do you think that genomics can be a way forward into cultivating?
Yes, you know, this is a very important question, since you know that, for example, for white truffle, we have at the moment no protocol for cultivation. On the contrast, as far as concerned the black truffle, we have a good system just to obtain mycorrhizal plants, which are mycorrhizal in the sense that they bear the mycelium, this one, around the roots. And so you can set up these mycorrhizal seedlings, and after 3, 4, 5 years, it depends on the season, on the type of climate, you can really collect a good quantity of truffles. But the interesting point is that this traditional procedure was already set up in France at least the past century. But the interesting thing was that there was always a high degree of unsuccess. And it was really difficult to understand why. Thanks to the genome sequencing, we have understood that in order really to obtain the fruit body you are eating now, you really need the fusion, the mating of two compatible mycelia. And so at the moment, the easiest thing that we can really suggest to the people who are working in this business is to take care of putting the mycorrhizal plants which are bearing the two types of genetic information. So at this point, the probability of getting truffles is high, really high. So it's already a